All right, we're looking at the full moon in Scorpio, and what do I have to say about it other than everything else I've said on the full video that I do recommend watching about the full moon in Scorpio? I do want to add, because we are getting close to the full moon in Scorpio, this full moons in Scorpio, it's a very intense time for a lot of people because the scorpionic energy, especially with the full moon coming together and also Pluto retrograde right now, Scorpio's ruling planet, is very intense. It's very intense and it's hard on a lot of people. And I say hard as in not an excuse or anything like that, or, oh, our emotions are hard and what I'm feeling is difficult and life is hard and relationships are hard. That's actually a perception and a false belief, but it will bring up those types of feelings. And if it's not hard, it could be difficult, uncomfortable. We may feel Scorpio is a very no nonsense archetype, right? It likes raw truth. It likes raw, deep, honest truth. And that means it needs to know the deepest of answers. And so within ourselves, when this full moon in Scorpio comes in, and that's why I like this full moon so much, is because it is really shaking, especially with Pluto retrograde, is shaking stuff up, right? So pay attention to these difficult emotions or sensations that could be triggered. If it's through another person, if it's through just randomly all of a sudden feeling shook or a little bit imbalanced or feeling emotionally, maybe going through an emotional release of some kind. This full moon is all about exactly that, which is extremely beneficial. This is where we get to do the work. This is where things start to shift, is around this time, or around this opportunity, I should say. When we're living our life and when we're in work mode or when we're in living mode, we're in those modes. We're not going deep, right? Unless we're doing this work. So this full moon does offer an opportunity for things to shift, and we want that. It's a good thing. So be aware of the shifts, be aware of course, integration, which I did upload a video on. Please watch it, because integration is the most valuable exercise that we need to pay attention to so that we don't fall back into our old patterns, and so that we can understand ourselves more and we can make sense of this and we can go deeper within ourselves. Okay, that said, make sure to check out the full moon in Scorpio video. There will be a link in my little description area below this video. And let's get into this marathon reading for all the 12 zodiacs for the full moon in Scorpio. We are starting with Scorpio, of course, as we are in the sign of Scorpio for this full moon. So let's get into it. I have the cards here for Scorpio, and for Scorpio, I have to say you're probably most likely going to be very sensitive at this time. You're going to feel sensitive at this time for the full moon and going into the full moon. I feel for some of you, you are manifesting something. I do feel for some of you, it's around a relationship. If for those who are manifesting or thinking about a relationship or wanting a relationship, or it's on your mind, or maybe there's someone in your picture, I'll get into it in a moment, but I do feel right now there might be a lot of sensitivities around that particular topic, around relationships or a relationship. You have at the bottom of the moon deck, time to release negativity. So that's your full moon card coming up for you here. And what's behind it? Yeah, step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So you have to let go of something, a fear, something of the past, an expectation, a desire, in order for you to move forward, in order for you to free yourself and step towards your destiny. So there's something holding you back. There's something holding you back energetically. Could be in the unconscious, could have to do with a relationship, could be family, even if you want to go really deep with it. Sometimes we have these ties to expectations within ourselves of family structure that hold us back as well. So there could be something very deep here that might be holding you back, or there might be something very obvious. You have feeling the world as your main energy or main message coming up here with the 7 energies oracle. So some of you might be feeling the world, feeling more than usual. You also have shining through too. So I feel for some of you, it's going to be one of two things. It's going to be one, you're stepping into more of yourself, you're embarking into more of yourself, or you're like really wanting to put yourself out there more in some kind of way, but your emotions might be getting in the way. You might be feeling too much. I know it's sort of, I never want to say don't feel too much because it's a beautiful thing, but it's mastering the edge. It's mastering the edge of feeling and just doing, just letting yourself shine, letting yourself go, letting yourself be. So I feel there's this push and pull between wanting to be more, wanting to express, wanting to shine, and then feeling so much, right? And I've gone through this myself where it's like, I just want to do, I want to shine, I want to be, I'm tired of feeling and interpreting things and really getting into it. But there's a lot of information there, and sometimes we're pulled into it because we feel like we need to almost learn more or understand more, or even maybe we may need to heal something else, right? Underneath the surface. So I feel there's a little bit of that push and pull going on. However, like I said, with a relationship, I feel some of you are manifesting a relationship. You're interested in a relationship. You maybe hopes and dreams on a relationship. Maybe deep down you're longing to be with someone. Maybe some of you already have met someone, but you also have nothing will come of the situation with it from the moon oracle. So it says nothing will come of this situation. Now, it's all in perception, right? So it doesn't mean that if you are wanting a relationship, nothing's going to happen, because that's actually perception, and that's a bit of a perception check-in where sometimes we might even give up on love because our false beliefs will come in and sabotage and make we make ourselves feel that maybe it won't happen. Maybe nothing will come of the situation. Maybe it's just, maybe I'm hoping and wishing for something that'll never show up. And so this is basically a perception check-in to see how deeply do you want to manifest this? How deeply do you want to and what is this that you want to manifest? What is that relationship? Are you clear enough with it? Are you at peace with the timeline and the flow of it, where you will never give up on what you really want and not push or strive or try to make happen, but for you to still align with the hope and the desire of what you truly want? So there could be a little bit of this dilemma within yourself of giving up and maybe it'll never happen, or maybe nothing will come of the situation, versus believing in it. And yes, I am on the right track, even if it takes a while, even if it takes a couple of years. I still believe in what I am aligned with and what I want. All right, sorry about that. I had to pause it, or I had to stop the video because there was a reframing setting that was set, and it was moving the camera around, and it was really annoying. So I apologize if it was getting annoying for you watching, but I turned it off, so we're good. All right, so the challenge right now is a new start is coming. So a lot of you out there might be expecting powerful change. You might be wanting change, but it just isn't here yet. So there may be discouragement. You may, for some of you, feel like giving up. You may feel like, well, maybe it's never going to happen, or maybe, you might be challenged or pushed or squeezed in some sort of way. You do have the moon and the 3 of Pentacles. For some of you, it has to do with business partnership or collaboration. And because the moon is coming in as a challenge, it's almost as if there either could be a fear, or there's an illusion, or you might not be opening up a lens of perception into new areas to strategically align with people to work with. So there may be unconscious fear around aligning with people, working with people, trusting people. There may be a bit of sabotage there, and there may be also check in with clarity. I almost want to say illusions in some way. There could be something hidden regarding, again, people. Like, I feel like there are people or someone or a group that you can work with, and either the dynamic itself isn't seen in the clarity and in the truth that it is, or you haven't found those people yet. But there's maybe holding yourself back, or a lack of trust, or something there in the unseen. I feel that they're there, but I feel that also it's either not the right time, it's hidden from you for a reason, or you might be unconsciously hiding it, you know. So sometimes we avoid, or we don't allow ourselves to really push ourselves forward, out of trust, self-trust, or trusting other people. So there could be a little bit of that as well. But I do feel there's something, and maybe some of you, there's literally a misalignment with people at work that you're working with. Maybe some people aren't pulling their weight. I feel it's more the first. I feel it's more based with the moon. I feel that there's something hidden, and it could come from within yourself. Okay, so the guidance right now for Scorpio is to show the world the real you, Aquarius energy. So something around really, I feel being magnetic. I feel really being honoring your unique self, breaking through the old paradigm of having to fit in and do what other people expect of you and think of you, and you know, even people who push their own beliefs or standards on you. This is all about you breaking the mold. This is all about you being your unique self, finding your rhythm, finding your path with you. And also maybe too aligning with like-minded people for some of you, some people who maybe the Three of Pentacles will show up when you are honoring who you are and not worrying about maybe judgment or criticism or what other people are going to think. Is really about setting yourself up for your own unique path and your own unique individualistic self. That is Aquarius, right? So show the world the real you. So something needs to be released. I feel, you know, a time to release here, Scorpionic energy, that's going to clear that up for you in a way. You also have the Chariot and the Five of Cups as your guidance. And this is signifying to release attachments and allow yourself to go, allow yourself to move, allow yourself to be free and to trust. And you're in a place of balance. You're actually more ready than you may realize. I feel for some of you, there are just these like push and pull energies that are coming through here. And this full moon is here to help you. It's here to release what needs to be released. The Five of Cups, although, you know, we do have to do the work ourselves too. The Five of Cups is to be really conscious and aware of what are you holding on to. Fears could be unconscious, could be conscious, but something from the past is holding you back, or you're holding on to something from the past that is holding you back in some kind of way. So yes, it's time to let go and to break free and break the mold. And I feel that some of you are pioneers in some kind of way. I feel that some of you are what trailblazers. And that is, it takes a lot of deep, what's the word I'm looking for? It requires us to go really deep with that, to break the patterns within ourselves of the old paradigm, the worry, the self-conscious behavioral patterns, the doubts, you know, that creep in. You know, we're all human, we all have that, but I do feel that this full moon can really elevate you in that regard and in that direction. So it can fully help you advance in a very significant way within yourself and with your path forward. So it's going to be a very powerful move for you during this full moon if you really, if this resonates with you and if you embrace it and work with that. Your outcome, full moon in Taurus, you have your dreams need a practical plan. So don't forget the practicality. So strategy, structure, being real, being pragmatic. So try to be as grounded as possible. We are in Taurus season. You do have a lot of fixed energy here. You have Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio, and you know, you're in the axis right now of Taurus and Taurus Scorpio axis here. After this full moon is about transmutation for you, for a lot of us, but definitely feeling it here. The Taurus aspect of this is going to be after the full moon. Make sure that you're grounding. Make sure that you're getting real about yourself, your future, your plans, stepping through illusions, breaking patterns. Don't forget to integrate. My mic's over there. Give yourself some time, but ground. Get real serious and get real practical about what you want after this full moon, and especially during Taurus season, the future, your long term. You also have death and the Eight of Fire coming in after this full moon. So there is going to be a breakthrough. You have a death and rebirth that's going to happen here. The death here, your card, is going to allow movement to open. When you go through a shedding, when you go through a release, you're going to have an expansive opportunities show up. If it is an opportunity literally of overseas, over land, a relationship, downloads, ideas, your own energy coming up and moving and shaking and getting things done. I feel that you're going to have a death and rebirth situation show up that's going to be very profound and very strong right after the full moon. Well, the full moon is the catalyst, right? And Pluto retrograde with the full moon, it's kind of a big deal here, I feel. So after the full moon, expect a powerful shift. We also have a universal month 5 in a month 5. The week of the full moon in Scorpio will be a week 2. And that is a very sensitive week. It's going to be naturally very attuned, very emotional, and a very intuitive time, right? So you have here Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery, number 8. Number 8, that's your house. So life is a mystery. This is your energy coming through here, Scorpio, where the 8 is all about power, is about manifestation. You're one of the strongest archetypes, if not arguably, I feel, the strongest archetype in the zodiac for a unique reason. And your ability to understand the realms of the mystery is very powerful. So don't discount your ability to access that, and don't dismiss that part of your existence and that part of you, because that is going to be very valuable and very, I feel, helpful for you to manifest and for you to find balance and for you to, as above, so below, ground and connect. So again, this is your outcome. You have the 8 of fire. So there's something opening up for you afterwards. Could be energetically, like I said, it could be movement, it could be an opportunity, it could be relationship. You have a lot of stuff going on right now. So Scorpio, wishing you all the best during this full moon and beyond. And I'll see you again very soon. Take care. All right, Sagittarius, we're looking into your reading for the full moon in Scorpio, and interesting reading here, actually. Let's see. With the 7 energies oracle that I've been starting out with, you have quieting the mind, broken open was your main energy. Quieting the mind was at the bottom of the deck. So this is your main energy here, which is broken open, quieting the mind. You can see both of the posture on both of these are both very similar. So I feel for a lot of you out there, you're aligning, like it's a very, very, but you're aligning from something that hurt you, something that, it could be hurt. It could be something of an awakening. It can be a shift energetically, but it came with a lot of turmoil. Like it came with a lot of, like, broken open is when we become more of ourselves based on a difficulty, based on a challenge, and quieting the mind is just that. I feel that you're becoming more aligned and more at peace because of something you've just gone through. It could be a big shift, a big change. It could be something from years ago. So you're coming to a place now where you are feeling the alignment because of what you've gone through. So this is a kind of a pinnacle point for some of you out there. I mean, we have had a lot of energy this last week. We have Pluto retrograde with this full moon in Scorpio. This is a deep full moon. It's a very deep and transformative full moon. Okay, so getting into this, because we are in Taurus season, at the bottom of the moon oracle, you have prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus, but your main energy for this full moon in Scorpio is the full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. So you're aligning. That's, I feel, the main message. You're aligning. Prosperity lies ahead. You're on track for building something great. This is your long term. This could be a legacy. This could be something long term. It could be something that, like, I feel literally you have your eyes on the prize. Like you're in alignment. You are really understanding something on a greater level, and with your dreams need a practical plan. It's like it could be very new. It could be something you've been working on for a while, but it's time to sort of realign things right now with your career based on what you've gone through personally and energetically. So the dreams need a practical plan. It's about getting grounded and getting real and start bringing your inner experiences, or your shifting and your changing into something solid. Okay, so making sure that nothing is left uncovered or there are illusions, because that is coming in here. So there could be a bit of things that are not clear. I feel right now is a very important time to be clear. You have the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Swords as well. So in the mind, at this time during the full moon, you could have a lot of scattered energy, worry, fear, doubt about your path forward. But your path forward is already starting, is already in motion. There's something already starting it, yet there's a part of you that is resisting it, or it's having a hard time processing it in a way. I don't know how else to say it, so I hope that resonates. But there's a lot of this uncertainty, overthinking, lack of clarity with it. But I feel it could be self-sabotage, or it could be fear of also falling into the Seven of Swords, of something of the past. So for some of you, if there's been failure, if there's been even in a relationship or a work, I feel it's more career or like soul purpose kind of reading for you. I feel that if you've had complications in the past, failure, really bad business partnerships, something that happened long ago, there's something unresolved for some of you, where I feel it's coming to light, with this full moon. It's trying to show you a belief, a pattern. You have the Nine of Swords as well. It's something about the King of Swords underneath it, something about your truth, either owning your truth, being clear with your truth, and executing on it. So the execution part here seems very difficult. There are beliefs, patterns, fears of something that you may have experienced in the past happening again, if it is consciously or unconsciously. That's my main message. So I hope it resonates. I know it seems very specific. Your challenge right now is adjustments are required. Now, the adjustments are required are with a person. It has to do with a person, and someone who's really, this could be for some of you on a soul level, relationship level. It could be like a family member level. It's going to be one person. It could be like I said, a soulmate type thing. And there may have been something that went out of balance, or Temperance, that's your card. There's something here that went out of balance, or there's something that needs to heal. And this could be child self too. This could be something that doesn't exist in your practical life, in your real life. I don't know how else to say it. It could be something of like a past relationship where the energy of it or the emotions of it have not yet healed. And it's right now is a time for that balance to happen. So that might be a challenge. You might all of a sudden have a memory. You might all of a sudden have a realization. There might be sadness. There might be, this is the Scorpio full moon. This is all about the purge, right? You might have, a lot of this like restless energy around a specific relationship here that might show up for you. If it's not another relationship, it's going to be within yourself, child self. Your challenge is your full moon to look at the bigger picture. So did I say challenge? I meant the guidance. If I said challenge, it's the guidance. Your guidance here is to look at the bigger picture. So your guidance is the Hangman, is to look at life and look at your path from that higher vantage point. Also the Three of Wands and the Queen of Cups, to work through your matters, even if it is within yourself or within another dynamic with another person, through love and compassion and understanding. It is a time to go big, though, the Three of Fire. It is a time to put your energy into what you love. It is a time to put your energy maybe towards someone you love. It's a time to make a move, but also look at the bigger picture of thinking ahead, looking at your greater landscape. You also will gain greater insight through that perspective. After the full moon, you have a lot of full moon energy here. You have the full moon in Pisces. Balance spirituality and practicality. And that's what I was saying. There's a little bit of, you have the sun and the moon after as well here. So there's a little bit of illusion, like there's illusion and clarity here. The sun and the moon rarely ever come out together like this. Like it is so unique when the sun and the moon come out together. So this is the duality. It's the polarization, the fish, the light and the dark, the clarity and the illusion. So you have, on one hand, you have clarity and you have your child self starting to really shine. You have yourself wanting to be bright and wanting to maybe enjoy life and illuminate certain aspects of your life, however you resonate with that. But then the moon is, and Pisces energy here is illusion. You know, it's the illusions. It's not seeing clearly, not being grounded enough. So make sure that there's a little bit, because I feel there's something, and maybe there's something within yourself, if you want this to be for your own personal work. Maybe there's something within yourself, child self, that's being hidden, and that there's a fear. There's a fear of being seen. There's a fear of shining brightly. There could also be that. So balance, spirituality, and practicality is bringing this essence of yourself into the practical, grounding it, becoming very grounded and stable and anchored in Taurus energy, and being very real. So there might be a little bit of that coming through here after the full moon, which I feel is honestly pretty accurate for what this full moon is really going to offer us as a collective, but especially you here, Sagittarius. All right, let's look at Sagittarius here. You have the armadillo spirit. Set healthy boundaries. And maybe that's what this is too. Maybe there's a struggle here with feeling safe, setting boundaries around the full moon. So set healthy boundaries, armadillo, that is a 3. Set healthy boundaries. All right there, Sagittarius, I'm wishing you all the best during this full moon and beyond, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care. All right, Capricorn, here we go. We're looking into the full moon in Scorpio, and I'm going to start with the 7 energies oracle. You have birds of a feather. With sacred reverence, I do feel there's a new outlook and a new take on relationships closest to you. Now, you could be also finding your team, your group, people to work with or hang out with, friendships, and collaborate with. And I do feel there's a shift on relationships that you might be experiencing. Maybe a new appreciation or a new realization. Maybe you have people around you that are really special, that you have kind of a deeper connection with. Sacred reverence is sort of the awe, you know, really admiring or feeling the depth of connection. So I feel it has to do with relationships in particular. Your moon oracle here is believe in the impossible. So this is during the full moon. So believe in the impossible. You have something very unique coming in. I feel a lot of you, for some of you, maybe a relationship. You have the Emperor here, but I feel it's you. And I feel that you're really becoming clear about what you want to create in your life. You could be stepping into more of the divine masculine. You could be feeling more empowered. You also might be accessing more courage, and you do have strength at the bottom of the deck, so more courage to work through more challenging issues or difficulties. Excuse me. So I feel the Emperor is coming through here as a very strong essence of yourself, and also a lot of contentment. It's very balanced. It's not an over amplified aspect of this aspect of yourself. It is something of balance that needed to come out. It needed to sort of develop and take form in a way so that you are becoming more empowered with you, and maybe with how you work through situations with other people, for example. But there's a great deal of contentment around this full moon. And I feel because you're also accessing more of yourself, I feel that you're arriving in more of this strength energy. You do have don't let your past hold you back at the bottom of the deck for the moon cards. So, you know, the full moon, it could be a really good time to break patterns and just be aware of what patterns might be coming up that may be creating limitations or stuckness or holding you back to what's been familiar. If it is the way that you're working, if it is the way that you've been functioning or behaving or perceiving or anything like this, I feel it's going to be very internal, like, because we also have the South Node in Virgo. So it's all about breaking our own habits and our old familiar patterns that doesn't serve us anymore. So I feel there's something here for you to maybe break or dismantle. You have confidence as your key to success, as your challenge. So you do have this confident energy coming through, although in the challenge you have Leo. You have the confidence as your key to success as your challenge. So this could be very well the main message for you, or the main struggle that you might be going through. It's really how to work with your power, rather than becoming super triggered or reactive or shut people out or lose your energy or have poor boundaries or have too many boundaries. So it's more of a softer approach of how to be confident and embody that without being reactive. So it's kind of a fine line, isn't it? But I do feel there's something here around that beautiful balance that you can find, where your confidence is showing up, where it doesn't come from emotional imbalances or reactiveness, where it comes in as you being confident and taking charge in some kind of way, or in the way that you work through situations. Your guidance right now is your commitment is being tested. So some of you might feel a bit agitated. You might be feeling a bit triggered, maybe because there's something here that might not be working the way that you're expecting or the way that you're wanting, or maybe you're not seeing the results that you're wanting, or maybe it's coming from a person, perhaps. But your guidance right now, the Four of Swords and Temperance, is to rest and to find balance and be in this the moon energy, this mode of transmutation, because that really is it. It is a time to transmute. I don't feel it's a time for you to push forward, even though you may feel tempted to. I feel right now, or during the full moon, it's an excellent time for getting extra rest, for finding balance and flow and patience, and what patience means for you on a deeper level. So if you're feeling tested, if you're feeling agitated, if you're feeling stressed and pressured and if fear's coming up, that's good, because you can release it during the full moon. You can acknowledge it. After the full moon, you are good enough. So it's a nice reminder, Virgo energy here, to believe in yourself, to, maybe there's something here around bringing more confidence and courage and belief in yourself around this full moon that can be brought up and can be supported after or during this full moon. After the full moon, you have the Four of Cups and the Eight of Cups. The Seven of Cups. So there's a lot within the water. There can be emotional confusion after this full moon. I feel allow for time to settle, allow for integration. Of course, I just uploaded a video on integration. There's going to be a lot within your emotional self that may arise after this full moon, I should say. So you may feel like you have a lot of options. There might be confusion. You might be uncertain of where to focus your energy. I would say believe in yourself. You may feel like you're doubting yourself because of this, but really the opportunity at this time is to be patient with the Four of Cups, to feel your way through a situation. I'm trying to get my card so I can talk at the same time, so that you can distill all of the emotional complexities and confusion for clarity. And also not just clarity, but to give yourself time before you make a jump, before you make a decision. Make sure that you are feeling your way through it so you can process when the right time is to make a decision. I feel there's an opportunity, but it's not a time to rush. I feel it's something around confidence. I feel that there's an opportunity here for you to work on maybe your confidence needs to build first, or maybe this is helping you build your confidence in a way. So allow for it to integrate, allow for it to move with you so that you grow through this opportunity. You have Grasshopper Spirit, number 30, take a leap of faith. This is the kind of the Fool card a little bit, just the leap part. But I feel, it's taking a leap of faith without, it's sort of it's a little bit of a complex way to explain it. It's taking a leap of faith without being active. It's taking a leap of faith, starting within yourself, feeling confident within yourself, feeling ready, feeling emotionally aligned, feeling calm. This Leo energy, again, the courage part. So it's like preparation to take that leap. So aligning yourself fully with what you want to experience in your near future, by asserting the alignment within yourself and preparing for something new to take form. All right, Capricorn, I hope that resonates. I'm wishing you all the best during this time and beyond. And also, I will be uploading a full moon ritual on the Shadow Project if you want to check it out. There's going to be a link below. Hope to see you there, and take care. Aquarius, here we go. We are looking into the full moon in Scorpio. And I feel for a lot of you here, you're really working through quite a big, I feel it's like a big, huge transformative phase right now where you're stepping through a lot of fears and awakening more. This is awakening the lion. So awakening the lion, becoming, it's 19. Interesting. We're also in this week as I record it, we're in a 19-1 week, but you are becoming more of yourself and you're becoming clear around who you are, the power of yourself, authentically. And I feel you're stepping into, even with your career or life path or something of that nature, there's more of you that's starting to show up because of it. And because of that, it's also activating a lot of fear. So you have a deep breath underneath. And a lot of you could be working through this, like you're walking through it. It's not like you're facing fear and almost holding yourself back. You're still walking through this. So it's a really cool time for you right now. I don't know how else to say it. It's really neat seeing the spread here. You have believe in the impossible at the bottom of the deck for the full moon. So there's something really beautiful happening for you right now. And I hope you can feel it. There's something definitely starting to open up for you, even though if you've been through a hard time, it's definitely shifting because you haven't given up, because you've still progressed and you've still worked through this and shown yourself that you want more. And it's happening, like it really is. You have showed the world the real you. For the full moon in Scorpio, Aquarius, this is your card, Aquarius. And this is, like I said, this is about you embracing your uniqueness, you embracing who you are, and really working through this. Now, this could be a big challenge. It sometimes most likely is, especially for Aquarius, because you're up against the old paradigm of what people expect of you, what society expects of you or expects of us as humans. But you were never meant that. We are all unique. We're never meant to be in that box. And especially you, out of all of the signs, you're progressive, you're different, you're unique. You think and you see and you act differently because you're meant to be a pioneer. You're meant to be different. But that comes with so much weight because society does not design us to be unique. This is you breaking through the mold. This is you now breaking through that. I think Scorpio had something similar as well. But this is you about really taking charge of that in a way and embodying your uniqueness and figuring it out as you go. And that's the only way we can really get a handle on it, is figuring it out as we move along, but not giving up on it, not giving up on the opportunity or the ability for us to be our unique self and to own it and to figure that out, what that means. And I feel this is something that you're working through, which is really beautiful. You have the sun in the chariot also during this full moon, which is this, the sun is your authentic self. It is Leo. It is your radiant self. It is your expressive self. And the chariot, the more unique you can be, the more you embrace your uniqueness. Just got shivers. The more powerful you're going to be and the more imbalanced you're going to be and trusting you're going to be. The chariot is all about, yes, this is the way. This is your way. Go make it happen. You're ready. You're more ready than you even realize. Okay. So for your challenge, take time to breathe out. You might be feeling the energy. You might be feeling a push. You might be feeling intensity. It's not bad. For some of you, also, it could have to do with a relationship. You have lovers, or it could be a choice that you have to make. If it's a choice or if it is a relationship, it is something that is creating a lot of mental activity. Take time to breathe out is to let it go, essentially, to surrender to it. The Eight of Swords, you might be anxious about it. There might be pressure around a relationship. There might be an expectation. You might be feeling, even if you're not in a relationship, maybe really worried about relationship status. I don't want to say status, but yeah, maybe even wanting a relationship and wondering. I think this came up for Scorpio, I feel. Very similar message. So something about a relationship or a choice that you have to make that's causing a lot of strain and stress. So even if a relationship isn't in your life, but maybe you're feeling like there's one coming up, or you're wanting to open your heart and be open to a relationship, there's still something going on there with that story that's creating stress. Maybe self-sabotage too, maybe holding yourself back from a relationship because of something, fear or whatnot. You do have your challenge, or sorry, your guidance at this time is a new start is coming. So it's, the guidance here right now is to open yourself up. It's to expect the unexpected. It is to, like, you have a lot of really nice energy here. It's to embrace a new beginning. It's to just be open, I feel. You have the Fool and the Hermit. Big energy. These are major arcanas for your guidance. It is to take the leap of faith. It is to be open. It is to connect with your vision. It is to at least trust that you are on the right path and to open yourself up to that. The Hermit is the searching aspect of it. So this isn't about, I feel, an immediate, you have the Chariot, you have a lot of major arcana. You have the Sun, the Chariot, the Lovers in the challenge position, but you have the Fool and the Hermit. And these are all very big aspects of your life that are playing out right now. So the Hermit is to search and to seek. So you're not necessarily you're not certainly not a cardinal energy or cardinal sign, which would take action faster than usual, or could anyway. You have more generally a more slower approach to things. Somewhat, you know, we all have our pace that we go by, but I feel with this is not a time of rushing. It's not a time of quick change. Even though you have the Fool, you have all this moving energy coming through right now. It's a time to find that current and to drop into that current and to flow with it and to stay in that lane of your current. The Fool is to be the 0 point, is to have that vision, to really know where you want to go, or to have that early inception about what you feel drawn towards, what kind of life, what kind of you that you are also connecting with. The Hermit may be a time needed for introspection during this process, so you can really lean into it and understand what it means, get a deeper sense of it, maybe drop into a bit of introspection, analysis, and seek and search. And maybe there are some answers. As long as you're in that current, then you get to do what you want in it. You can search, you can seek, you can look for answers, etc. And I feel there's this web of things that can happen. I hope I'm articulating this properly, because it's sort of, I can see it. Sometimes it's hard to articulate it, but it is an opportunity that you get to work within, as long as you're on that path of yours, right? Your outcome after this full moon is an end of a tough cycle approaches, the full moon in Capricorn. So you have a bit of work to do. You're at the end in some capacity. But it is Capricorn, it's still to climb that mountain. So there's still climbing that needs to happen. You have the 10 of Wands and the 4 of Pentacles. So you might be very frugal at this time. You might be being really cautious financially. Be very careful of the energetic weight of that, so that it's not putting pressure on the process and you're not operating from a place of lack and scarcity. You may be carrying extra weight. You have 3 10s, by the way. At the bottom of the tarot, you have the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Cups. So you're definitely at the end of something very, very big. And this could be an internal aspect of yourself. This can be with your career. This could be you stepping into more of yourself. It's a big time for you right now, actually. So I feel this will also require you to look at many areas of your life, not just, you know, if we're on our career path, we just want to get this done and we want, you know, this to bring in success, or there's way more that's happening within your life right now. So it requires a bigger perspective, and it requires a bigger viewpoint to see all the different aspects that are playing into your reality right now. Okay. Aquarius, this deck was upside down. Koala spirit. Spirit has a plan. Number 35. Spirit has a plan. So there's something bigger for you right now that's playing out right now. That is part of your divine destiny. That is part of a greater story of yours. That might be hard to see. Maybe you know it. Maybe you feel it. I feel that a lot of you do. I feel that you might be unconsciously or consciously understanding it. But there is a plan for you. There's something greater for you, and is unfolding right now. All right, Aquarius, beautiful reading. I will be uploading the Scorpio full moon ritual in the Shadow Project. So if you would like to drop in and check it out, there is a 7-day free trial in the description area below. All right, so wishing you all the best during this full moon, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Pisces, we're looking at the full moon in Scorpio, and really nice reading here. Really nice energy, actually. There's a lot opening up for you. Now you have broken open. Ooh, the uncharted sea underneath it. This is your main energy, the divine matrix. Okay, so this is your main, it's number 44, power number. You are manifesting out of a time where you had gone through a massive breaking point. Not even a breaking point. It's more like really experiencing a massive shift within yourself. There could have been big release. There could have been sadness. There could have been a breakup, something tragic even for some of you. But because of that, I mean, it could be big scale. It could be, just a shift of some kind. Whatever you've gone through, you're now taking on a new adventure. You're moving, maybe literally moving, or on a new career path, or on a new journey of completely a different experience. And you're manifesting the divine matrix as being really clear about what you want to create. You're tuning in, you're connecting with the quantum. You're starting to manifest, you're starting to put all the pieces together. So really cool. Your main energy in the moon oracle during the full moon is show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. Now, so many readings already have had this card come up, and I feel this is a time, I mean, universally, I don't know, or collectively, there's something here around us stepping into who we truly are. And also, it could be a process of figuring that out. It could be, really all of a sudden going, yeah, I know who I am. I got this. I see it now. I feel it now, and embodying it. So I do feel, I mean, during the full moon, because that's a full moon, there could be also an opportunity here to release anything that might be getting in your way of showing up even more. But I do feel you're connecting with something of your own, something unique, something of your own, your own maybe gift to the world, or your own unique essence of self. You also have the Page of Fire and the Ten of Swords. So like I said, you're coming out of a very heavy cycle. You had a lot of releasing, you had a lot of purging, and now you are moving out of it. The Page of Fire is feeling limitless, feeling this amazing opportunity to step into more of yourself and to create very early stages. So this could be a very early point of creation. And you're also releasing at the same time. So the full moon might be releasing old patterns and old beliefs and old perceptions or something, wounds of the past. Is cycling out. So let it do its thing if it is still finding its way out. But the more you let go, the more you're going to free yourself and have more to move with, which is that's one of my favorite cards. The energy is gaining momentum is your challenge. Okay. The energy gaining momentum could have to do, you have the Page of Water and the Page of Earth as the challenge, with the energy is gaining momentum. Okay, in the fire side, you are charged, you're ready, you're feeling good. You could be also working with energetic alignment and the quantum and whatnot. Your challenge is, what am I building with this? Or even, maybe there's fear around investing fully. There could be fear around maybe investing financially. There could be blocks creatively. There could be holding yourself back creatively. There could be holding your maybe emotional expression back for some of you. So there's energy gaining momentum, but it also could be very frightening. It could bring up some things where you might feel very apprehensive. There may be resistance. Again, not sure where to invest your your energy, or maybe there could be a lack of groundedness or footing in what you're wanting to create from a practical standpoint. Your guidance right now is something needs to be released. What do you need to release? So something needs to be released. It has something to do with Six of Wands and the Three of Cups, releasing. You know, for some of you, I feel it might be a good time to reconnect with people, to strengthen your friendships, to have fun. I feel maybe not be so serious at this time, rather, yeah, I feel bring people together. I feel it's a nice time of harmony. I feel it's a nice time of bringing people together. The Six of Wands, I feel there is an opportunity here for you to have public recognition in some kind of way. And this could be within like public, social media wise. It could be within your community, however it resonates. But I feel that if that does resonate with you, the guidance is to, I feel that's what you're manifesting. I feel it's to align with it, of what that vision is, how it feels, maybe even from just an enjoyment perspective of enjoying your journey and enjoying your path and what you're creating. You'll naturally attract it, like attract more of it, or you'll put yourself naturally on the path that's going to connect you with your dreams and what you're trying to achieve. Your outcome after this full moon is your dreams need a practical plan. So you do have Taurus coming in here as the practicality aspect. So it is after this full moon going to be important to ground and to get practical and real about budgeting and financing. And I know sometimes we think that's so boring, but it's super necessary. And I feel that, yeah, there could be also an opportunity here if it's like really high energy and even emotional. This is going to allow you to ground it into the material and to embody and to connect with yourself and to connect with what you're wanting to manifest, to be practical. You also have Justice and the Three of Pentacles after this. So some of you might be one of two things. Some of you might be having a contract come in. You might even have something karmically align where you naturally meet people you can work with. So it's almost as if you maybe in the past you were working with people, or you had some really bad work situations or relationship conflicts, and maybe they were all karmic lessons, and now it may feel that way. Now everything's aligning where you're going to meet the people to work with. Things are going to happen easily. You have the right team around you. You also could be very clear and very meticulous and very direct around who you want in your life. So you might be also taking charge and being at the cause, the driver's seat of those types of relationships. And particularly I feel around work. I feel to do with work, to do with building and creating especially. But definitely a lot of balance coming in that arena. Okay, Pisces. White Raven, this is beautiful. Number 66. You have two power numbers here. You have a 44 and a 66. White Raven spirit. Trust in the magic? Yeah, that's what it is. Trust in the magic. Trust in the magic. Also, I should mention you have communication is key at the bottom of the deck for the Moon Oracle. So communication is going to be really important for in some way. Okay, so it could be social media. It could be with people, networks. Don't be afraid to take the lead and the initiative with this. Open doors, be clear, be upfront. Maybe it also can heal relationships, bring relationships closer together, maybe open a door to as well. All right there, Pisces, I'm wishing you all the best during this time. If you would like to also drop into the full moon in Scorpio ritual, it will be on the Shadow Project. The link is going to be below, so maybe you can stop over if you like and check that out. See you soon and take care. Okay, Aries, here we go. We're looking at the full moon in Scorpio. All right, so you have Roots of Abundance was the first card that came out, which it's a number 2. And this really means that you are anchoring into something. It is not super new, although it could be relatively new, but it's more in the context of being anchored and solidified or being more committed to something. So it still could be early stages, but in the process of either development, or you're starting to really kind of sink into what you want or what you want to create, or maybe a new chapter in some kind of way. So it's really, yeah, getting more committed, becoming more stabilized. You also have shining through as well, which is a really nice energy or a nice opportunity for you to be more outwardly. So I feel for some of you, you might be I feel like public speaking, it would be really good for public speaking, leadership, or just allowing yourself to shine in whatever way, rather than holding yourself back in some form. So I feel there's an excellent opportunity. Some of you might even some of you might, sorry, have a leadership role that you're anchoring into, or a role where maybe it's a career path where you're going to be outwardly a bit more, where you're going to be shining through, maybe some kind of role of leadership, or some kind of level of responsibility where you kind of have to take charge in some kind of way. I mean, this is your archetype, so it fits really well. I'm trying to also tie it to your archetype, but yeah, I feel that there's an opportunity here for you to break through a bit more. And I feel that it could be very much tied to your career. And if you're not working and if it doesn't resonate, it's simply about you letting yourself enjoy life and being bold in some way, like really letting your essence come to life in a form, which is really beautiful. During the full moon, you have a look at the bigger picture. You have Sagittarius. So this is a time to look at your bigger landscape of your life unfolding, I would say, your life path. That will give you some insight, because the Four of Cups here it's a slow moving energy during this time. I mean, we do have Pluto retrograde, which is Scorpio's ruling planet, plus this full moon. It's sort of it's more of an inwardly introspective, emotionally deep type of transformation that's happening during the full moon in Scorpio. So nothing really, and even with all the other readings, it's more like under the surface stuff that's happening right now, or during this full moon anyway. So I feel that you're going to be feeling that. I feel you might be holding back in some way. I feel there is an opportunity, but and also for some of you, it might have to do with a relationship. I'll get to that in a moment. But if it's relationship or your career or life in general, or getting out and being seen in some kind of way, I do feel you're going to be taking your time with it and really sort of sinking into your emotions, feeling your way through it rather than being quick to decide. So I feel even with the Knight of not cups, Pentacles, coins, there's Capricorn energy here. There is steady moving momentum. 1 second here. I feel for some of you with matters of the heart, if there is a relationship on the table, I'll just say this. I do feel there could be a relationship here where you might be deliberating making a move or making a change, or going something around maybe even repairing a relationship for some of you. There is a bit of and I'll get to it in just a moment. So with that, you may be taking a pause with your emotions at this time of the full moon and reassessing things. And the career front, you are also moving forward to the roots of abundance. So you are working towards your goals. You do have the Knight of Pentacles, which is forward moving momentum, is commitment. Now you're committed, you're locked in, you have a sense of opportunity on the horizon. Your challenge is believe in the impossible. So some of you may be questioning your path. You might be even questioning what you believe in, or what you're dreaming of will actually happen. So you might be questioning that. You do have the Ten of Swords and the Page of Cups. Some of you, again, it might be to do with a relationship. Now, this is coming through a lot. Also, this message, I'll give you a couple messages just in case that doesn't resonate with you. But the challenge in some way is for some of you to let go, to release from maybe an old relationship, maybe an old hurt or an old pain. It may be difficult to believe in yourself outside of what you've already experienced. So it may be difficult to believe in your ability or another opportunity or another experience outside of where you've been and what you've encountered. There's a lot of suffering here, the hurt, the pain. Even if you've recovered fully from it, I feel maybe this full moon might bring something up, because that's what this full moon does. Especially Pluto retrograde. It's about reassessing and almost like going a bit deeper to reevaluate, even unconsciously, even if we don't want to do it. It still might happen during this full moon, but it has something to do with matters of the heart, or if it's not relationship, it's to do with creative expression. It's to do with your own heart. It's to do with connecting with your heart. Some of you may have your heart blocked, and maybe, yeah, maybe there's been a little bit of a wound where there's an imbalance or something that has been shoved down, and it might show up during this full moon, possibly. Your guidance during the full moon is a fiery climax approaches. That's your full moon in Aries. So your guidance is the Two of Cups and the Eight of Cups. Now, for some of you, it's an interesting dynamic. The fiery climax approaches, it could be to be very cautious about drama around relationships. It could be also to pursue a relationship and leave an old behind, leave old emotions, leave old wounds, leave maybe an old life dynamic, a memory, something of the past, to make space for a new. The Two of Cups. It can be also to heal an old relationship. It can be to move on from experiences of the past. It's a transitionary phase through the emotional self, and to do with a relationship. It doesn't have to be romantic. It can be family as well, right? But I do feel there's something here about a romantic kind of tie. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Your outcome is communication is key. So communication will open doors if it is your career path, if it is a relationship. This is Gemini, so Gemini season is right on the heels of this full moon. So during the maybe Gemini season after the full moon, all of a sudden you feel like communicating. Maybe a new word comes to you. Maybe there's a new opportunity, maybe to do with relationship. There's an opportunity to open the doors for communication. But I feel there's going to be fluidity with communication. So you naturally may be feeling very communicative. You might be opening doors. Doors might be opening to you, but be open to communicate. You have also the Ten of Wands and the King of Water. So I feel a lot of you, through carrying a lot of weight, maybe you've been working really hard or carrying a lot of uncertainty or pressure. I do feel through that process, you are becoming more emotionally matured. I don't know what else to say about it, but it's like a level of emotional maturity because of what you've worked through recently. I feel that you're coming into a new level of yourself. I feel that you are maybe connected more with your heart in a stronger way, more emotionally intelligent way. And you're coming to the end of carrying a lot of burdens, but it is giving you the King of Cups. It's giving you a greater sense of self, and I would say emotional self, which is really beautiful. Yeah, actually, bottom of the deck of the tarot, you have the Five of Wands and the Queen of Cups. So you have the King and the Queen of Water here. If it is a relationship, there might be a relationship that's very emotionally connected, and it can be very emotionally mature relationship. However, there is some drama attached to it. So either drama happened in the past, or it might happen between this dynamic in order for something to shift. Now, if it's not a relationship, again, you might be embodying both the King and the Queen of Water, where you are very sensitive and almost attuned in a very compassionate way to help you navigate drama, to help you work through intensity regarding other people. You might be taking a different approach. You might be softening yourself a little bit more to understand others and to approach it from a different angle, rather than getting mixed up in all the heated drama or events, right? So I feel that there's an opportunity here. I feel that through a lot of emotional or energetic intensity, it's helping you connect more with your heart, with your emotional self. Okay, for Aries. Pig spirit, use your mind wisely. So cute, little pig spirit. That's number 47. Use your mind wisely. Okay, so yeah, be careful of your thoughts. Be careful of what you're saying as well, because that is a byproduct of thought. Um, yeah, and that's it. That's all, Aries. And if you're interested in joining the full moon ritual for the full moon in Scorpio, it will be at the Shadow Project. There is a 7-day free trial. The link is in the description area below. Hope to see you there, and I'm wishing you all the best during this full moon and beyond. Take care. Okay, Taurus, here we go. We're looking into the full moon in Scorpio, and your main message here is wish upon a star. So it's holding the star close to your chest and not letting it go. Also being very cautious of the body, your mind, and body and soul. So being very, very cautious of the connection, being very health cautious, noticing any patterns that might be throwing your alignment off within the body. And, maybe it's something to do with health. Maybe it's recovery or healing, to believe in your ability to heal and to align your body, I would say, with what it is that you're wanting to achieve in some kind of way. Your main message for the full moon is you're very close to achieving your goal. So it's also wish upon a star, and you're very close to achieving your goal, are very connected. So don't give up on what you're wanting. You're very close. You're closer than you may realize. You also have the King of Water and the Four of Pentacles. So during the time of the full moon, you have Pisces energy here. I feel you're very emotionally attuned, very emotionally aware. You could be, in a way, for some of you, growing in a leadership type of role to work with others in a very balanced and harmonious and diplomatic way. So maybe it's something to do with your career path, or how you're showing up for others, or how you're operating from, I would say, almost like matters of, not matters of the heart, but it's tied with the emotional connection, with emotional intelligence. And the Four of Pentacles, you might be holding on to your finances a little bit. Yeah, watch. I almost want to say if finances are a thing, if you're worried about your finances, be very cautious about how that interplays with your emotional self, because I do feel there's an opportunity for you to step into a role, or even upgrade your career, or show up more for others, but this might be holding you back in a way. Something around the finances. It might be kind of like limiting you in an essence. You do have your challenge, a time to give rather than take. And I feel that's what this is about. I feel that you might be holding on very tightly to matters of finances, maybe even what is felt familiar, fixed energy, holding on to a level of control, expectation, protection as well. But the challenge here is that it's restricting flow. It's restricting openness. It's restricting even more opportunity. So you also have the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the Chariot as a challenge. So there's something on hold right now. And for some of you, there's like a lack of balance. Either one or two things. There's a lack of balance with regards to, I don't know, what you're working. Be very cautious about anything that's imbalanced right now, especially in the practical, maybe to do with finances, responsibilities, the health and the body, of course. But you might also, for some of you, be taking on too much, and you might be feeling really scattered. So it's almost closing, like I feel like it clamped in, like it's restrictive. Like there's a very restrictive feeling right now, or a sensation. So try not to take on too much. Watch yourself, watch your pace. The more open you can be, sometimes, we get in the conditioning of the old paradigm where we feel that more is more. But I feel in this case, it might be less is more, where, taking your foot off the gas pedal a bit and leaning back and allowing for space to happen, for creation to happen, or enjoyment to happen. Yeah, there's definitely, kind of a constricted, restricted feeling happening in the background. What do you need to release during the full moon is just that. So what do you need to release? This is your guidance. What do you need to release? has to do with, you have the Empress and the Nine of Pentacles. It's a very similar message. Something to release has to do with financial independence, knowing your worth. So there could be worry about knowing your worth, about being financially independent, and what that truly means. What does independence mean for you? What does financial freedom mean for you? Empress also as your guidance to nurture your body, to drop into more of a creative energy right now, rather than doing and working and production. This is being, this is embodying, this is your season. By the way, happy birthday to you all out there. But this is really about embodiment. This is about the divine feminine. So working from that archetype within yourself, we all have both the masculine and feminine within ourselves. And this is a time for nurturing, a time for nurturing, a time to slow down, a time to create, a time to be. Yeah, and maybe for some of you to pamper yourself, with the Nine of Pentacles, maybe to enjoy life more, allowing yourself to allow for that to happen. Your outcome after the full moon is a new start is coming. So you have this beautiful new energy coming in with the Page of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. So you might have a new opportunity, a new job opportunity, a new role that you're stepping into. That's why I feel the King of Water. I felt that. I feel that the King of Water right now is going to help you get to the King of Pentacles in a way. So it's learning to balance the financial responsibility or the financial aspect, even if it is to do with your career. Maybe it is like the financial responsibility of your career or of your life. It's to dissolve it in a way where you instead are showing up from the place of the King of Water, that leadership role, or you embodying that and not putting pressure on maybe finances or structure or, like the heavy earthy stuff or controlling a situation, is going to end up like giving you more. Like either it's a more, I don't know if I can talk. I like by the time I get to I think I'm on the 6th or 7th sign, I start to fade out. So that's my cap is an hour, and usually I have to go for another hour. So I'm trying to pace myself. I'm trying to embody Taurus's energy right now and pace myself through this. You're going to essentially upgrade or get a promotion or a new career path or create something from great confidence within yourself. Yeah, there's like a whole new opportunity after this full moon. So release anything of, again, control or fear or limitation. Be more of the leader. Be more of working from the heart. Don't worry about the financial stuff right now, because that's going to come. That's going to happen. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to lecture. I think I gave enough. You have Death at the bottom of the deck with the King of Swords, the Devil, the Wheel of Fortune, the Fountain, the Ace of Pentacles. Like I said, there's a new opportunity with your career. I mean, even if you're employed, there's either going to be a new experience, a new like side department or something, or a side like an arm of a business literally, like a new component of it. There's a huge transformation, and this is going to empower you. It's going to also allow you to break some kind of unhealthy pattern or addiction or cycle to do with your relationship, either with money or with your purpose and your potential and your path forward. The Wheel of Fortune, the Fountain, it's a big spiritual shift as well. But like I said, it's going to result in the material for you. A cool reading. All right, let's go into the Animal Oracle for Taurus. Brown Bear Spirit, take time out. Number 9. And 9 is the end of a cycle. Take time out. Yeah, it's connect with the body, connect with the heart. Try to remove the financial attachments or anything of the nature. Try to leave it to the side. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking now. Try to leave it aside, and yeah, take time, rest, again, connect with the heart, and believe in the impossible, or it was wish upon a star, rather. All right there, Taurus, I'm wishing you all the best during this time and beyond. If you would like to drop in for the full moon in Scorpio ritual, that is going to be on the Shadow Project, and the link is below. See you soon and take care. Okay, Gemini, here we go. We are looking into the full moon in Scorpio. And the Seven Energies Oracle, you have number 7, a deep breath, which usually is tied to fear. So it really is almost an invitation to connect with your breath and to calm things down in a way, or yeah, just find more of a smoother pace and breathe through fear, knowing that everything is going to be okay. Everything is okay. You have the Rose's Kiss as well. And I do feel with this one, this is number 9, and this is all about intimacy. Now, it's really about, I feel, given a deep breath and the Rose's Kiss together, I feel there is an opportunity here to connect with maybe a relationship, people, life through a more intimate approach, being more connected, slowing down. A deep breath is, taking things down. Very Taurus energy, actually. This is maybe grounding into the earth, maybe starting a new relationship, or even in just how you're embodying relationships from maybe a more intimate approach, more connected approach. There also could be pleasures and sensuality. This can be with a relationship, but it can be just in life in general. That is, like I said, it's very Taurus energy. So something around slowing down and really, yeah, connecting more. And even maybe for some of you, it could be connecting with a relationship on that level. Your main energy for the full moon is Sagittarius, and it's to look at the bigger picture. Now, you do have the Fool and the 10 of Pentacles. Now, for some of you here, you might be taking a leap of faith towards taking a leap of faith, but you might be initiating a new phase in your life to do with your home, to do with family, to do with what you're wanting to create or build. So you might be having a refresh in this area of your life. Now, it has to do with the 10 of Pentacles. So it's kind of your bigger goal or your bigger accomplishment. Again, it could have something to do with your family, your home, financial, like a bigger opportunity that you have in your line of sight. So yeah, I just want to see if there's anything else there. Your challenge is a new start is coming. So I feel that maybe for some of you, you're working towards, or you're sensing a new beginning. You can feel it for sure. And you probably could start aligning with it, although it's like it hasn't quite developed yet, or it hasn't quite shown itself yet in the way that you were expecting or the way that you're wanting, but it's in motion already. Like it already is happening. So there might be part of you that is wanting a new start, but it already is starting, but it's in a very early phase of the Fool. So there might be part of you that is a little disappointed or anxious, or maybe again expecting change, but it isn't quite showing up the way that you were wanting or the timeline. So you also have the 3 of Wands and the Knight of Swords as a challenge. Like I said, there's a lack of movement, but things are in motion already. But it may not be in the way that you're expecting. So there's a confliction here, right? And also too, some of you might be apprehensive of taking the initiative, of taking that leap of faith, of making something happen. So you might be holding yourself back as well for some. Your guidance right now is a time for healing. A time for healing, the Hierophant and the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's a time to actually, I feel, plan, structure, maybe even seek spiritual guidance, maybe to learn more. Maybe there's something else that needs to develop under the surface first before this next phase starts to happen. The Hierophant could be anything from, seeking spiritual guidance, to learning and studying, but something of more of a spiritual matter. Can be intellectual. It can be, for sure. But I feel that it also can be something very Like it's going to help you from a personal level. It's going to help you from a growth level. The Seven of Pentacles is take time. Just take your time to be in the present moment and cultivate that Ten of Pentacles that you're working towards by being in the present moment, by cultivating within the here and now, rather than rushing. And, you know, mutable Gemini, you can move fast. It's a fast moving energy. You're very intellectual. You like things that happen quick. You do have mutable energy here. Nothing is set in stone. So things are in motion, but also, you know, embodying the Taurus energy that we're in right now to practice presence and practice cultivating in the present moment rather than pushing or chasing or really, you know, getting anxious about timelines and whatnot. Your outcome after the full moon is confidence is your key to success, Leo. You got double Leo, strength, and the 10 of water. So after this full moon, you have a great deal of confidence, of I don't say perseverance, yes, maybe, but it's more clarity about your path and about who you are and what you're making, creating, and how you're showing up. I feel that you're going to almost slow things down in a way of being more creative, like creative from a place of confidence, from a place of self-assurance, from a place of balance. And that is going to help balance things out. I feel that the 10 of Cups, you know, it could help balance things out with the family. I feel even in the way you're interacting with people, you could be more calm and balanced and strong, assertive. So in a way, it also is going to help balance out an emotional relationships or an emotional relationship. You also have the Magician at the bottom of the deck with the 7 of Wands. Yeah, you're manifesting. Like you're in a really strong time now for creating. I feel you're ready to fight for what you want in a way of not like necessarily confrontational, but you're standing up to the challenge, right? Okay, let's go into the Animal Oracle for Gemini. Number 52, magic works through you. This is Scarab Beetle Spirit. Magic works through you. Magic works through you, right? And feeling it. I feel something about embodiment here, trusting. And after this full moon, I feel if you slow down and connect with the present moment, you're going to be embodying more confidence, and that Leo energy that's really starting to show up here is going to balance something out very significantly for you. All right, Gemini, I'm wishing you all the best during this full moon. If you would like to check out the full moon ritual for the full moon in Scorpio, there is a link in the description area below to follow through to the Shadow Project. Hope to see you there. Wishing you all the best at this time and beyond. Take care. Cancer. All right, let's look into the full moon in Scorpio. You had a couple cards fly out again, like last reading. I think it was you where you had a couple cards fly out while I was shuffling. You have endless possibilities and great and full. So I feel that you have a lot to be grateful for. Or you might be feeling very much of gratitude. You might be feeling like your cup is overflowing. Endless possibilities is really connecting with that, you know, connecting with the feeling, sensation that something's opening up. Maybe you're believing in yourself more. Actually, I think that's going to be your challenge. I feel that you're accessing more of yourself. You're feeling into the range of possibilities that you can experience, that you can create. But that card also does ask us to look at our fears of what is getting in our way of creating it, of manifesting it, of experiencing it. But I do feel that there's a lot to be grateful for. I also feel that close encounters, some of you might have been very locked in regarding relationships. Now, this could be romantic or friendship relationships or family, where I feel that now is a time to start opening up to possibilities of a relationship or relationships or being closer with relationships, and maybe even seeing where fear for some of you could reside regarding relationships, being protective. Now, Cancer, that is your shadow aspect, is the shell of the crab, being very protective and guarded. until it takes a while, until you gain trust within someone and whatnot. So I feel there's a process here where some of you are coming out of that period where you may have been very guarded and very protective. And yeah, I feel there's an opportunity here. You do have the Two of Cups and the Knight of Swords with bring love into the situation for this full moon. So you do have the Two of Cups and the Knight of Swords, Libra, and Aquarius energy here. So it's going to be one of two ways. Aquarius, the new moon in Aquarius does signify us being true to ourselves and our uniqueness, but sometimes we may become very, what's the word? Like maybe too connected with our, what's the word I'm looking for? So it's not self-absorbed. It is maybe being very focused on what matters to us more than other people, right? Is it self-absorbed? It could be, but I don't feel it is in this case. I feel it is more during this full moon. I feel it is important to honor yourself and to focus on your unique path, what's important for you, but while also being aware of others' needs, others' emotions and whatnot, because that could be the shadow aspect of Aquarius, is where we become very detached from others. We're more focused on ourselves. And it's not from a self-centered place, although it can come across that way. I don't feel it's an intentional. I feel the message of this card is, how can you focus on you while also bringing love into the situation, meaning thinking of others' needs, being more attuned emotionally with another person. And for some of you, it is about taking charge towards a relationship, while honoring yourself, but taking a chance, taking a risk, moving forward, opening up for communication. There could be that here on the table. If it's not it could be, again, like I said, it could be a love relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be a business partner, it could be anything. If that is not the case, this is you moving in your own direction and being really clear about what is important for you while also still being sensitive towards other people. It could be just that simple message, right? But I do feel during this full moon, I feel that you have an opening of some kind. I feel that you do have something opening up. I feel it's going to be important to believe in yourself. You are good enough. So if there's second guessing around your direction, around a relationship, around anything of that nature, it is just a nice reminder that you are good enough, just in case that is coming to the forefront. The challenge right now is you are very close to achieving your goal, and the Page of Fire, the Nine of Cups, and the Star. And so this is what I was talking about. Your challenge right now is you're very close to something. Now, it could be a goal in relationship. It could be a goal in your career. It can be a goal in a shift, a change, something dynamic. But for some reason, maybe there's a lull, or maybe there's a stall, or maybe even a conflict, maybe for some. But during that time, it made you second guess yourself. Even if it was really quiet, it has been really quiet, it may make you second guess yourself and your path and what you truly desire in your life. So you're closer than you may realize, although you may be, well, with the full moon, it may be a contrast of emotions and of that knowing within yourself that may show up, right? So if you're on path and you feel it deep down that you're on the right course and that things are moving forward, if you're met with a resistance, if you're met with a lull, if you're met with a nothingness, then this could show up and it could expose an insecurity. It could expose something. And that's what this full moon really is doing, is bringing up the deepest of our emotions and of our unconscious to the surface so we can see that. And I do feel in this case, it has something to do with you believing in yourself and also really being in alignment with the star, what the star means for you, right? And contentment, being content. I feel that you might have a little bit of restlessness. Some of you might have worry and doubt, like I said already. Your guidance is surrendering. So surrendering to the divine. So letting go energetically, trying not to push or force or, excuse me, rush or even worry. It's all about letting go and trusting the process. I know sometimes it's easier said than done. Letting go and just observing and feeling, especially with your emotional self. That will be a nice aspect to access within yourself. You have the King of Swords and Temperance as well during this full moon. So letting go as far as just being really cautious about your emotions and the energy, being really clear and direct, but also being very balanced and harmonious and very even, taking your time, being patient, yet knowing what you want, knowing your truth, knowing, maybe even taking charge in some kind of way with the King of Swords. Your outcome, you have communication is key. This has come out before. I think, I can't remember who it was, or what sign, but communication is key as the outcome. That is going into Gemini season. So you are going to have new word coming in during Gemini season, perhaps, or right after this full moon. We do have Gemini season pretty much right after. So you're going to have a new opportunity. Now, this can have something to do with a relationship. It can have something to do with a new career path or something you're waiting for. I feel for a lot of you, it has to do with career. You have the Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Fire. So to do with your career, maybe it is for you to take initiative, for you to open doors, for you to communicate, or it's going to show up for you to step through and to embrace it and to follow through. But it looks like it's going to give you the opportunity to build your foundation. Sorry, this is usually by the time I get to like the last four, I think I'm on the last 4 readings, I run out of energy and I have no idea what I'm saying. So I'm just doing my best here. Your Page of Pentacles is building that foundation. So this is coming up here where, yeah, I feel like there's a new opportunity. There's going to be work involved in it though, right? So it's a new opportunity. There could be new communication, but there's still some work to do. Watch out for patterns of the devil. So attachments to limiting addictions, beliefs, fears, even, or relationships, or unhealthy patterns of any kind. So that might be surfacing as well during this full moon. Okay, let's go into the Animal Oracle for Cancer. Starfish Spirit, open to infinite possibility, number 59. Open to infinite possibility. Yeah, so remaining open, I feel you're in a good place, honestly, especially with great and full and endless possibilities. I do feel that you are in a place of being open to infinite possibilities. It's just believing, it's believing and holding that line, staying in alignment with that, with being open rather than closed. Closed comes from fear. It comes from dipping back into our old devil patterns. But yeah, the more open you can be, I feel definitely something opening up for you after the full moon here. All right, Cancer, wishing you all the best. And if you're interested in joining the full moon ritual for the Scorpio full moon, there's going to be a link in the description area below. Hope to see you there and wishing you all the best. Take care. Leo, we're looking into the full moon in Scorpio. And, well, it looks like you're in between the past and the future. You have the Land in between. It's number 40 and Tender Embrace 22. Regarding relationships or a relationship, there's an opportunity here, I feel, for things to be brought into a very compassionate, maybe even healed rhythm. For you to find maybe healing and a rhythm and closeness with maybe a person or relationships in general. I do feel for some of you, there could be a story here interwoven with a land in between. So it's between the past and the future, maybe regarding a person or relationships for some of you. But you're right in this in-between place. So the land in between, you have the past would be here and then the future would be here and you're right in the middle. And it may seem very uncomfortable, but it actually is a place where you get to create. So it's kind of the gray space or gray area, the primordial chaos in esoteric or hermeticism. where basically is the space where you get to create. That is kind of the void, but it is, I feel for some of you, there's an opportunity to rewrite relationships in some kind of way because of what you've learned from the past, or even maybe rewrite a whole new relationship altogether. But definitely, I feel it's something to do with relationships for many of you. Your main message during the full moon is you are very close to achieving your goal. So do not give up on what you are working on. So this is something I feel that is going to come into fruition during this full moon. You have the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Fire. So you're going to be making it happen. You're going to be digging deep. You're going to be having a new charge of energy, or new passion, or creative insight and energy to make something happen. So the Wheel of Fortune is setting things in motion. Maybe you went through a big karmic lesson. I feel that for some of you, if it was a karmic lesson, it could have to do with relationships in some way. But I feel regardless, something is moving. I feel that you learned something very valuable. You're coming around, and now you have energy to create because of it. Your challenge is be bold and make the first move. There might be a block regarding movement, regarding, it's kind of funny. Maybe it's making the first move in some kind of way where there's a lot of hesitation, there's resistance, there may be fear, maybe worry. You do have the Four of Swords, so you could be sitting on something. You might be apprehensive of making the move. The Ten of Cups is balance regarding a relationship or family matters or something, or relationships. So something is out of balance with regards to a relationship context. And you might be really restless. Some of you might be maybe giving up on it, or maybe you put it back in the back burner for so long that it's like so old that it's been kind of like, it's been something that you've known to do for a long time, but you just have like held it back, or just didn't want to maybe face it or deal with it. But now this Scorpio full moon is really all about illumination and bringing old stuff up. So I feel maybe that's part of it. Your guidance right now is expect powerful change. So it could be also, with this case, to align with powerful change or to make powerful change happen. You do have the Page of Earth, the High Priestess, and the Eight of Fire that came out with this guidance. So it is to pursue something, it's to pursue a new foundation. It is to pursue something that you can build, something that is stable. The Eight of Fire is opening up channels for communication, and the High Priestess is to really connect with your deeper spiritual psychic self on this, to know, I feel it's, hold on a second. It's not to know. The High Priestess is not knowing, it's sensing, right? The High Priestess is all about the depths of ourself. It is our deeper self. And I feel that in order for you to build a new foundation, you must really align with this feeling of yours and your intuition to open up something. If it is communication, travel, something that needs to be opened, is going to come from your deeper self. It's going to come from, when you get those intuitive hits, all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's what it is to act on it. It's to make something happen with that intuitive hit and that deeper knowing, like knowing from your deeper self and creating something, movement out of it in some kind of way. Now, movement can be literally moving. It can be downloads, it can be creative insight, it can be communication. Some of you it's going to have to do with really overland stuff. It can be moving for some of you as well. Now, after this full moon, you get your new moon. Confidence is the key to success. So you're going to feel more confident after this full moon. There's something here shifting where you're all of a sudden maybe putting yourself out there more, maybe doing something bold and dramatic, maybe taking the lead in some kind of way. You have Judgment and the Star, major arcana after this full moon. So Judgment is the next level. It's the next level within your life. It is not holding back anymore. It's stepping up into a new evolutionary phase of yours. It is also in relation with the Star. It's aligning with something more meaningful. It's aligning with something more, I would say, powerful. There could be also a period of healing that, or there may be actually healing that may follow you making a judgment call and changing something from the past. If it is releasing a pattern or something that has been holding you back, or changing the course of direction from something of your past, is going to allow for alignment to happen. And it may also align for healing to take form as well. Also, you do have hold your vision at the bottom of the deck here. So it is really saying to hold, it is fixed energy. So it is saying to stay on track. Just stay on track, stay on track. Just stay focused. Don't let yourself get in the way, essentially. Oh, that's beautiful. Number 11, butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. All right, transformation is beautiful. All right, Leo, beautiful reading. Wishing you all the best during the full moon in Scorpio. If you're interested in joining the full moon ritual, which is going to be pretty amazing, it's going to be over at the Shadow Project. Make sure to join us. The link is going to be below. And I'm wishing you all the best during this full moon. Take care. Virgo, we're looking into the full moon in Scorpio, and let's see what's going on. I like what's happening after the full moon. Going into the full moon, I feel that some of you have gone through, broken open, by the way, that's a 28, have gone through quite a big internal shift. There could have been a big release. There could have been some pain. There could have been a shock. There could have been broken open is when we gain a greater sense of self and a greater understanding through the more difficult times. Smoke and mirrors, though, with it, I feel you're like being in detective mode right now. Like you're gathering information, you're trying to make sense of things. You know, for some of you, you could be very investigative in some kind of way. You could be also very cautious of people's BS. You could be sort of, you know, maybe that also is what broke you open. Maybe you learned something. Maybe there was something hidden that came to the surface, or maybe someone was being dishonest or deceitful, and it really like kind of shook you in some kind of way. But there's something always is really great about that too. And I feel that you're starting to see, you still might be recovering, I feel, from what happened, but there's also more happening because of it. So during the full moon in Scorpio, your emotions could be running high. Be very careful of quick reactions, intensities, especially what is being said, or how you're reacting to certain things during the full moon. However, I do feel the Queen of Fire and the Page of Fire, you're really like, I feel like you're amped up. I don't know what it is. Like it's not in a bad way at all. I feel it is in a really good way, although it's like it's in a way that could go either way. Well, no, I feel it's in a good way, but the energy could be so intense that you might burn yourself out. You might react, very strongly towards a situation. Just be very careful of the energy. But I feel that this is really, really good for you. I feel that it's going to allow you to open new doors. I feel that you're going to feel very attractive because of this in some kind of way. You're going to be very magnetic. I feel it also could have shook something within you that made you show up even more. And because of that, you're feeling more, you have the Queen of Fire here. So you're feeling more attractive, more magnetic. You're very optimistic, but there's a lot of energy around this. So just be aware of it, manage it accordingly, but it's beautiful. It's really great. I love this energy. This is what I've been feeling lately because there's been so much intensity right now. And I love this energy. However, I know it's right around the corner, and that's a big crash. And I have to be aware of my energy and my sleep patterns and not push myself too much, because I can do that. I can go really high and too much where I just crash and burn for days afterwards. That's what I'm talking about. But this is really, really nice. And I feel that you had a big shift. There's something in here that shifted you really well. And there's a lot of really nice stuff happening as the ripple effect outward. So your challenge at this time during the full moon is a time for healing. So do take time. There is some kind of healing that does need to happen. I feel that regardless, you're going to feel more again, magnetic and energetic, but there is something that did happen that needs to integrate, that needs to allow for the time necessary to find its pace, to find its clarity. I do feel that you're somehow the smoke and mirrors, there's still information that might come to the surface within yourself or with regards to a situation. You have the Two of Pentacles and the Eight of Fire as your challenge as well. So you might, for some of you be juggling too much, perhaps. There may be interruptions with travel, with communication, with movement. Maybe you're feeling bogged down in a sense. Maybe there's too much to manage. Maybe something went upside down and yeah, kind of like disrupted. Maybe that's what the broken open is about. And maybe there's healing that needs to happen after this. Your guidance is the full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. So I feel it's right now to sit tight in a way, to not necessarily initiate anything. I feel that the answers you need are either going to come through you, or they're either going to come from your investigative keen eye and precision, or it's just going to naturally come to you through conversation or something. You have the Three of Fire and the Hermit. Yeah, so energetically, you have a lot of energy to work with. I feel there's an opportunity to prepare for creation and be creative. I feel right now is a great time to be creative, but the Hermit is your card, and there is, I feel, also a calling to spend time alone, introspect, review, assess, spiritual integration, again, searching and seeking. So take time. Don't rush it. Don't push through it. Allow for everything to happen in natural due course. And then after the full moon, don't let pride get in your way. You have the full moon in Leo, so don't let pride get in your way. There's a little bit of not wanting to admit something, or not wanting to be vulnerable or open about something, information. You might be very sensitive about a certain matter, but don't let that get in your way. The more open and vulnerable and honest you can be with yourself or others, the better. You have Justice and the Ten of Pentacles. So justice is coming in. This could be a legal matter coming in your favor. This could be justice being served, something karmically coming into balance, something evening out. It has to do with Ten of Pentacles. Now, this could have to do with your career. It could have to do with a big sum of money. It could also have to do with your home. But something is balancing out, but it is going to require you to let go of the pride, to be real about something. Justice is very much about cause and effect as well. So being very mindful of how you're working through the situation so that it is put in motion in your favor. So you don't have to deal with anything in the future regarding it. Okay. Just one more thing. You do have the Two of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So you have conclusions are within reach. So something is about to come to a point. The Two of Swords, you might be holding back on truth. It's like for some of you, you might know something. One of two things. You might be blocking the truth because of holding back on something, or you might know the truth and you might be holding back on taking action on it or communicating, saying something about it just yet. And I feel that's after the full moon. I feel that's where justice is coming in. The truth is going to be exposed, but make sure pride is not interfering with either how the truth is being delivered, or even within the situation, whatever it is, in some kind of way, maybe even communication. Scarab, Beetle, Spirit, number 52, magic works through you. Let magic work through you. Attune to the magic. That's the Hermit. That's your guidance. All right, there, Virgo. I'm wishing you all the best during this time and beyond, and take care. All right, Libra, we're here at the end, and this is a long reading, these all signs. So I was trying to save my energy and keep my pace going and take my time with it so I didn't burn myself out by the end. I think it worked somewhat, but here we are, and it's a beautiful reading here. You have all new moon energy, all new moons, and I'll show you in a moment. New energy. It's a beautiful read. There are a few things, of course, I look at the challenges as well, but this is really, really something special, I feel, for you. So starting off with number 8, Into Me I See, this is the message of learning through relationships, right? So it's the mirroring effect. It's learning our deeper wounds through interpersonal relationships. It's also learning ourselves more through relationships. And I feel that a lot of you have learned so much of yourself based on relationships. Now, if it was a love relationship, family relationship, it's going to be the closest relationships. I feel whatever has happened, close encounters as well. Great big love is coming into the fold. Now, this card was your main theme during Pluto's transit into Aquarius that I did a while ago, was great big love. And don't ask me how I remember it, because usually I don't remember much during my readings, because, I go through them and then I publish them and then that's it. But I do remember this. And I do remember during Pluto's transit, I know it's long, in Aquarius, there's going to be a theme of this, of love, of what that truly means. And I'm talking not just romantic. This is your heart opening in such a way that you have never felt before, where you are feeling love for people you may not have ever thought you would love, like maybe a family member who did you wrong, or life itself, or yourself, or maybe a romantic relationship. And if it's a romantic relationship, it's going to be a love that you never felt before. And I feel that you may have gone through the difficult relationships, but learned so much through them that you're now opening up for something greater, and not even just something greater, but just a greater experience of love, of your heart. And for some of you, yes, it's going to be romantic. It's going to be interpersonal, close relationships, whatever it is going to reflect in every type of relationship moving forward. And it's going to be a new expression of love. It's going to be greater. You might all of a sudden be feeling like, oh my God, I just love life. I feel so connected. I love I love this and that. And you might just be gushing literally with this feeling of love. And it may also, like I said, even if romantic relationships are on the radar, you might also feel this really strong connection for a romantic relationship on a level that you've never felt before. Okay, so that aside, let's go into the moon oracles. First, new moon card. You have the new moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate with the 4 of Pentacles and the 3 of Swords. So the full moon in Scorpio may bring up fear around finances, may bring up maybe some old wounds that need to be healed. But during the full moon, take time to meditate, take time to go within, connect with yourself, connect with your emotions. If you need to take time to heal, to let go of the past, let go of the past. This is about forgiving, and maybe even the relationship with money or protection or guardedness. Maybe something needs to be released. Your challenge is the new moon in Virgo, so a time to give rather than take. So some of you may be holding back or apprehend. Okay, this is actually, I need to start over on this one because I've had to work through this myself. A time to give rather than take. Say, for example, we give and we give and we give, and we feel depleted or we feel frustrated that we're giving, we're putting so much energy out into our work and into the world and into other people that we're still empty-handed. We're not seeing the return on our investment. We're not seeing the return on what we're putting out there. So there could be frustration on this, but there is this little secret that I learned during my process as well with this exact message, if it's resonating with you. When I would give and give and give, I also was expecting, or I was coming from a place of lack or scarcity or fear, or expectation. And so it wasn't a balanced and harmonious relationship with the flow of give and take, of giving and receiving. So I was actually blocked with receiving, even though I was hoping for something and wanting to receive. I was still very blocked. I was working from a very closed system within myself. And I feel here you are in some way in a position to give, but you may be holding yourself back. There may be resistance of some kind. There may be, maybe you have given a lot and you're feeling drained. You also have the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Fire in the challenge position, where regarding matters of the home front, your big goal that you're wanting, again, you may be feeling like there's an imbalance in some, this is your archetype with the scales. There's an imbalance with giving and receiving, but maybe because some of you aren't believing enough in yourself or putting yourself out there enough, or coming from a place of not really caring what the outcome is going to be, just doing it because you love it and because you believe in yourself. So there could be a little bit of resistance, a bit of imbalance, again, not seeing the rewards that you're hoping, or a bit of disappointment of where you are on the grand scale of things, especially if you've been giving, or creating and trying things and it just hasn't necessarily come around. Your guidance right now is communication is key. So communication is important right now in some regard. I feel you do have strength. You do have strength and temperance, major arcana as guidance too. So communication. Now, this could be on social media. If you are putting yourself on social media, if it is communicating in a relationship, if it is communicating with family, if it is communicating with your career in any way, I feel the guidance here is communicate, open the doors for communication, start communication. If it's healing, if it's meant to heal, definitely open up that opportunity for healing. Strength is all about being strong and coming from a place of just knowing who you are and knowing your value, and communicating that effectively. So I feel that communication is really going to help with the challenge right now. Maybe it's effective communication. Maybe it's coming from a place of heart and coming from a place of calm, not trying to push and strive, but rather embodying what this means for you, strength and temperance. Coming from a place of balance, coming from a place of creation. Coming from a place of confidence, really embodying the confidence. And then your outcome is a new romantic cycle begins. So you have the scales coming into balance. Now, it doesn't have to be relationship, although it can, because look at all this freaking love you got going on here. Close encounters as well, like opening yourself up from where you've been closed, right? Now, it could lead to a new romantic relationship, but it also can be the scales coming into balance as well. So the scales coming into balance in some kind of way. You also have the Knight of Air, your card, plus the Nine of Wands, Nine of Wands is this one, which is going to require a bit of effort, but it is really about resilience. I know sometimes we don't want to hear that word, but it is really about working towards what we love. It is also taking a risk. So there may be a quick move coming in here after the new moon. There might be even someone coming towards you with the Knight of Air. That could be someone coming to you as in a new word. It could be new romantic relationship. It could be you taking the initiative towards it as well. But whatever's coming in after this new moon, there's still going to be a bit of effort put into it, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe some of you might be even feeling tired. So you might be entering this new cycle feeling like, oh, I got to still do some more work. I still got to push through this. But I think you're going to have a refresh within your heart. I feel it's going to boost you up and offer a new sense of self. All right. So you also have at the bottom of the deck, you have new insight coming in, something that's going to lead to financial balance. There's been a lot of fear around finances for you, but I feel there's something coming in. Now, it may be from your own idea, your own clarity. All of a sudden, I know what to do and I'm going to make it happen, and it's going to balance your finances out. Or it's going to be someone helping you out. Maybe you're in a position to help others out, or maybe it is of service where there's a really nice balance of relationships, of partnerships. But there's something here around a new idea that's going to form around that. So you're going to have clarity and truth with regards to that situation. And let's go into the animal oracle for Libra. Oh, I feel that one. Groundhog spirit, time to let go. Number 31. So there's a heart. The groundhog is holding on to a heart, and it's saying time to let go. So this could be holding on to old wounds, old patterns, maybe a past relationship, past difficulties. It's time to let go and open your heart for something new. You have all this love coming in. And again, this can be romantic. It can be within your own heart, which is really the foundation of it all. So beautiful reading there. All right, Libra, wishing you a wonderful full moon ahead. If you're interested in joining us for the full moon ritual over at the Shadow Project, the link is going to be below. You can follow it through. Hope to see you there. Otherwise, I'm wishing you all the best during this full moon and beyond. Take care.